Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Dreamers Game 1, where we are playing Yomi. This is turn 73. Jumping into things. So, right off the bat, we have completed Thaumaturgy 1 for research. So, that's going to get us a couple of little things, but mostly end of culture. We'll talk about that at greater length further on. And then we have Manifestation. Is this the first manifestation that we... No, this is second manifestation. Our first manifestation was last... Declared our first attack. So we have a manifestation this turn. Last turn we just got, I think, a regular Auger. This is an Auger Elder. So a much more valuable mage, but we can also see Twiceborn, so this is kind of like a mixed bag. This is yay, but right? So like, we do kill him with efficient ease, right? So very nice there. But he is Twiceborn, so he's going to come back as a white mage, which is better or worse for or more depending on, you know, specific situations. But it's a thing that got killed. Didn't have any gear, so that's unfortunate, but is what it is. So, Manifestation versus Urmor, 1 win, 0 losses. Pretty happy about that. And then we have a number of site searches: Haruspex that finds nothing, Auspex that finds nothing, a Voice of Apsu that finds nothing, rather, and an Auspex that finds nothing. A Dark Knowledge finds nothing. Arcane Probing finds nothing. A second Auspex finds a Thunder Oak. An Augury finds nothing. So Thunder Oak is +1 air gem over here in Golin Fens, which is actually not a bad little gem income province. So nice. Happy about that. So gem income air +1. What else do we have going on? We've got a bunch of battles. So we were attacked in Belfields. Urmor launching counterattacks. What do we got? This is... Okay, this is just random shit. So these are madmen. I'm assuming Urmor just had them hanging out. Let's toss them around. They're definitely going to beat 6 PD. Well, I say definitely going to beat 6 PD, but it actually depends on the 6 PD. But they'll definitely beat this 6 PD, I would think. Unless we got some really lucky routes from, like, headshots or something. I mean, those heavy infantry are holding. They're losing a couple people, I think, here or there. Yeah, not enough. Not enough. Not enough. Alright, so, we did kill 18 of the 54 madmen and 2 of the flagellants, so. But we lose in Belfield. We take control of Barm and meet no resistance, and this is kind of, I guess this goes to show the situation between Urmor and Relay, because we've never touched Barm. My assumption is the constant rating between the two of them with, you know, Urmor being hit by Relay repeatedly, that Urmor's just got no PD in a lot of places, which is okay. Unfortunately, though, we did not corroborate our movements very well, and we have had a bump in Barm. So this is our 2 liches. We've got Man-Hate and Fear Tongue with their Shade Mail and then Magic Resistance gear. And they are up against some Slave Guardians, which stab pretty hard, but otherwise are insignificant. The bigger thing is there are several Hydromancers and a Slave Mage here, all of which have water lenses for water elemental summoning. So they are going to summon at least 4 water elementals into this, and that's a fair fucking number. I don't know if Horde of Skeleton spam from our 2 liches is going to be able to beat all of this, but we'll see. Oof. And yeah, backed up by... Fortunately, the Hydromancers are going to use cold spells, so they're not going to do very well against the Long Dead, but a little bit of extra damage could go a long way. We are stopping the water elementals, but... Ooh, okay. That's going to be an additional factor, right? As the water elementals get close enough, the liches are sniping them with drain life. I think that is actually doing as much to get rid of them as anything else. That's pretty good. And with the water elementals dead, I feel very confident that we are going to take out these slave guardians and their posse. Easy peasy. All right, cool. So we bumped in Barm. Killed 2 Hydromancers and a Slave Mage. That's a fair little amount. 300 gold, 475 gold, right, in mages. And then the Slave Guardians are kind of an extra 90 gold, a little over. But that's an unfortunate bump, but I'm glad it went our way. Then we attacked in Belmar against Ermor. And there's just a small amount of PD here, so this should be nothing special. Casting Raise Dead. Oh, right, this guy is set to cast instead of attack. I think he's set to advance and cast spells, actually. Reinvigoration does he get? 7? That's not horrible. Okay. Looks like we win there. Pretty handily. There was a Flamen actually there. Interesting. And then we get to see a battle in Oak Halls. Ooh. Denavas are pretty slick. The Lanka has access to Denavas, which is... Okay, that's pretty intense. These guys have crazy amounts... they have forearms, so they have crazy amount of weapon and shield slots, but they lose a miscellaneous slot in response to that. I think it's a pretty good trade, honestly. And there's an Ivy King doing some... Ooh... Has a Thistle Mace and this is an independent. What? Oh shit. Kind of crazy. Yeah, he's got poison resistance, so he's gonna be fine there. Just jumped by a bunch of bugs, but those bugs aren't gonna be able to do anything. Yeah, this guy's scary. It's scary. Unholy Sword, Unholy Spear, Halt Sacred, Halt Sacred, Halt Sacred. Pretty crazy. And also has a Buckler, right? Though the Buckler is not very good. Mirror Image, my god, this thing is... I think it's gonna slap. I don't think it already drove away the Ivy King though. Okay, easy peasy. We took Pannonia, we took Brightwoods, again, right, indicative of the rating that Relay has done, or more just hasn't put PD back in, and again, I think, unless you just don't have the money, always put 1 PD into your province. Always put 1 gold, right? Because it nets you information. You get to see specific stuff, you know? And sometimes that information can be skewed because, you know, if people know that you have PD, they can try to move around it. But it's, I think, a good thing. Another bump, right? We moved on to Silver Wall. Apparently, so we'll just go here. So this was the force that was to the west of, I believe, that was to the west of this province of west of Silver Hall. Relay moved back onto Silver Hall this turn, and we bumped. So it's got these Mind Lords with Amulet of the Fish and Eye of the Void. One with the Water Lens, and it's got 2 Slave Mages, both of which have Communion Slaved for this Mind Lord. And he's going to produce some Water Elementals. And this other guy's going to... Falling Frost, holy shit. Did not matter. Like that. Pretty interesting. How many did we lose? We actually lost 43 Kooni to just 10. To just 18 units, rather. I wonder if it was mostly the Falling Frost. Falling Frost, yeah, it just fucking instantly shattered a couple of people over here. Another Falling Frost, and... Oof. My goodness. Glad I'm not actually fighting Relay, because if he just had 5 of those here, he would obliterate this entire army. Fortunately, we got kind of lucky with our Aka-Onis throwing flames, and they just focus fired him down. Because he has no protection against basically anything. Alright, that's cool. That's very interesting. So we win there. We gain an Amulet of the Fish. And then there is a battle in the Fortress of Cormark as we take this from Inam, hopefully. Very small force versus basically nothing. We've got a couple of Lizard Shamans and a single Acha, who's prophetized. Body Ethereal, Divine Blessing. We got some curses coming out. Starfires going on. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. We are on hold and attack rear, or not hold and attack rear, but we're on attack rear, so the Kooni are going to go straight for them. And it's just too many attacks, right? Like, they have Body Ethereal. Kooni don't have magic weapons, but when you have 5 attacks swinging at you from each square, and Body Ethereal only blocks 75% of those, you're going to get hit, and when you get hit, you're probably dead. Nicely done. Easy peasy. Battle in Cormark, we lost 5 Koonis and 1 Aka-Oni. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so a bunch of battles all around. Let's coordinate this on down. We have battles this turn. Versus Hinnom, 1 win and 0 losses. Versus Urmor, 4 wins and 1 loss. And versus Relay, unexpectedly, 2 wins and 0 losses. So, nice. Pretty good round for us. Which is nice because those bumps could have gone south pretty easily. Alright. We have a couple of unexpected events. In Mulliton, there is some turmoil and unrest from some unnecessary laws. And then in Black Harbor, we found some magical gems in the split trunk of an oak. So, +6 nature gems as far as events go. And we have done a couple of other things. There was a battle in Oak Halls that we saw. That Danava right here attacked these Ivy King's environment, and then immediately got attacked a second time, and I think actually won this time. So let's see how this goes. This guy came back with a vengeance, it looks like. Right? And he had more gems. Look at the amount of swarm he was able to generate this time around, right? Like, he was just able to chaff this guy up. And here we go. We can see he does actually get poisoned. Got a little tick of poison going on through his fucking poison resistance. He doesn't have regeneration. So this is actually potentially going to be a problem. Like the poison is gone. No, it's still there. Gets hit. Mirror image gets popped. Wow. Couple of little hits here or there. Sneaking through. Got harassed down just way too much. Harass penalty minus 39 because of all of the bodies around him. And they just gotta explode the die every once in a while to get through. And once they do, boom, get some poison. Has a limp now. Ooh, that was a solid hit. That was not just... Ooh, another one. 14. Guy flies, though. So as soon as he routes, he's just gonna bounce entirely. So okay, I was gonna say. He is fine. Interesting. Now, that's kind of crazy to see how differently that fight goes. Because this one, he just destroyed. And then this one, he actually kind of got slapped on. Almost double the amount of Vineman. And very clearly, way more gems on the Ivy King the second time. So that's very interesting. All right. Jankeep is unharmed, and we are starting to destroy the silver wall. Let's talk about some of our movement. We're going to talk about domestic stuff first. The only real things to point out here, most of these are Oni movement. We do have a new sorceress that we are sending to the capital for a very specific reason. We'll talk about that reason next turn. But that's happening. And then we have our first Vampire Lord, and he is heading out to White Forest along with Murrock leading a bunch of corpse constructs. This is what we did with the Mound King that we summoned last turn. Or I guess technically this turn. But, was that this? Yeah, we revived him last turn. So we're gonna try to set up blood hunting in White Forest and go from there. Hopefully a few more turns and we'll be able to get a solid amount of blood slaves going. I don't know that I'm super happy with this province. The population is about right, like not too high to where we're losing a crazy amount of income from destroying it with blood hunting, but also not too low, not sub 5k basically. You're fine. I'm just worried about you. Like, you've been dying for days. I believe you. I just don't know what to do about it. How I fix it? By you burying your face in that cat that you're allergic to? I see how it goes. I can see how it goes. Alright, so we're doing that. Excited to see where that goes. And then that's mostly it for the domestic stuff. We're moving a couple of site searchers around, but most of the rest of it's just moving Oni back and forth. Over in Hinnom, we are going to attack Relothia. Hinnom did not move his Melkart this turn. I presume, that it's just a scenario of like, okay, well, game done. Fuck it. Let's move on. So we're going to try to just go ahead and kill this Melkart. We are going to respect it, though, because it is a Melkart that could pop any one of my Dione, even if I send several of them after him. So we're going to send a small squad of Ko-Oni to bash his brains in and go from there. And then we're consolidating forces in Shambolic. And we're gonna, now that we're mostly patrolled down in Hinnom, we're gonna try to move and patrol into Cormark. Okay. As far as the Ermorian front goes, we do have this little army that has sallied out against us in Belfields. We're gonna backtrack slightly. Either if it comes at us, it's going to either hit us in Mareni, which I don't know that it's going to be able to beat the Ko-Oni here, basically. I think that they might kill the Madmen. Or it could come into Sulfuria, or it could stay put. My assumption is it's just going to pop back to Jankeep. So we're going to raid Belfield's back. We're going to try to intercept in Sulfuria if we need to, and we'll see how it goes. Other than that, we are sending Manhate and Feartongue into Trottern, and we're sending Morio onto the Silver Wall. We're going to kind of like get a large force here and probably send in a poke squad, like a Dione or something like that, to feel out what is going on in the actual keep itself. But I am relatively, I don't think we just got this in the bag or anything like that. But I think if Ermor sallies out against us, unless they're using something like Fog Warriors, I think we're gonna make them pay for anything that they throw at us, basically. So we'll see how it goes. We are also sending in Kintoshi this turn. So Kintoshi has a very small, I say small kit, but this is actually way more than we would probably want to put on an Oni Shugo. I talked last turn about putting on just basic gear, but I think I do want to get to the concept of Dione full gear, Oni Shugo full gear, Dione full gear, Oni Shugo full gear every turn, basically. Are you sure you're okay? I love you. You've been coughing more than you have been breathing in the last 5 minutes. Do you need cough drops or something? You want me to go to the store? Okay. Love you. Drainage. I feel you. Okay. All right. So we got Kintoshi moving into Brightwood, potentially going to pick up something else or maybe swap out gear because there is a laboratory here in Brightwoods. So we've got that going on. And other than that, we're kind of just continuing to feel Ermor out, right? I haven't seen anything from them yet. I know they should have good research, right? Because they do have Arcane Nexus up, which is a level 9. So my assumption is they probably have at least, obviously they have Enchantment level 9, but they probably have a couple of other things. Enchantment level 9 does mean that they can do... looking for... I think it was Mass Flight was the thing that I was somewhat concerned about. I don't think he could do Mists of Deception easily. I guess just a large communion would be fine, right? But anyways, like my assumption is he's gonna have access to a lot of really big battlefield magic. So I'm kind of curious as to why he has not engaged me yet. And we're also going to try to start pulling in our own battlefield magic. We're going to run up Alteration, specifically for things like Army of Gold and Army of Lead, but also for the option of things like Will of the Fates in the future, as well as a couple of other things here or there. Creeping Doom is nice, right? Fog Warriors. If we throw in some Lizard Shamans, or we try to go Fairy Queens, or something like that. Lizard Shamans and Sorceresses for a Communion, basically. That type of thing. So we got some options up Alt 9, so I think that's kind of the route that we're going to go. This is kind of a weird war, because I declared it and then kind of threw a very weak series of attacks in, and Ermor's just not done much in response. I have honestly, I kind of expected way more out of this. I expected armies to sally out against me and kind of like fight me. But I don't know if Ermor's just waiting for me to break upon him, right? Like attack a sieged fortification and have everything inside. When I send everything inside, all of it dies or routes and gets, I don't know. That might be the route that Ermor is planning. I have no clue at this point. So, that's pretty much what's going on in our movements, our attacks, things like that. The war continues to rage between Ubar, Lanka, and Helheim. No real big status changes there. So let's talk about what we are doing this turn. We've got some buildings going up. We've got a lab, +1 lab in Shambolic, right? And then we're also building a temple in Cormark. So, +1 lab, +1 temple. Because we are doing +1 lab and +1 temple, we have very little money this turn. So all we're doing as far as recruitment goes is we have 1 Neminari. Got that. And then we have a lot of rituals. We have a lot of our requisite rituals. So I'm just going to go through all of these and we'll talk about them, talk about the important ones. So we have a bunch of site searching, 1 augury, 1 auspex, 1 voice of Apsu, 1 arcane probing, 1 dark knowledge, 1 haruspex. Then we have some more interesting stuff. We've got 2 manifestations. We've got 9 corpse constructions. We've got a curse of blood. And we are actually going to throw out a King of Elemental Earth this turn. So, let me jot this down, and we will talk about those. So the manifestations, I think, are important. We've talked about those at length. We now have 2 liches. Both of them have skull staffs. We're going to continue to just manifestation spam and try to pare down the list of mages that Ermor has access to. Ermor has some really powerful mages. I haven't really checked this stuff publicly in a while, but I looking at it constantly. So they have these pontifexes, which are kind of whatever. They have these flamens, which are kind of whatever. We've seen both of those in the field. They have archbishops of the Sacred Shroud, which are priest 3s, which are dangerous to us because we have demons. They can't banish us. But the big ones that you see the most of are the Auger Elders, which are the Recruit Anywheres, and then the Bishops of the Sacred Shroud, right? Oh, no. No, that's the Archbishops. So, sorry. The big ones that we're worried about are the Auger Elders. So those are Recruit Anywhere. My God, that's strong. These guys are Recruit Anywhere. That's so strong. They're not sacred, though, so their upkeep cost is kind of fucking insane. They're amazing mages, though. Honestly, they get a lot of stuff, and they can get air, so you can get an air mage into a communion for really high air magic. It's very, very potent, and they have, I guess it's just these augurs, right? These fire astral augurs, which are pretty fucking cheap astral communion mages. So, very nice, very dangerous. And every augur that we can snipe, or every auger elder that we can snipe, is a great boon. I assume, having seen that he does have Twiceborn, or he has Twiceborn and a random auger elder, I'm assuming he's trying to Twiceborn almost all of his auger elders, which is a good idea because they're very valuable and they're very strong. So, that's a good plan. Anyways, yeah, Ermor has really strong mages, so every chance we get to take some of those mages off the board is a big deal for us. Manifestation is pretty damn reliable. It is hard for an augur or an auger elder to do anything unless the AI just gets really lucky, right? So I think that's going to be a good thing for us to continue to do ad nauseum. Next other thing is Curse of Blood, right? We've talked about that already. We're going to be emptying our blood pool until we can't anymore, and hopefully we will not have that happen. Mathematically, I think it's very likely. So we're going to have a vampire arrive here next turn, and then we're going to start blood hunting. But it's doubtful that we're going to get enough blood slaves in that turn to pay for not next turn's Curse of Blood, but the Curse of Blood after that. So we're probably going to have a hitch in the vampire summoning, but I hope not much. So this is going to be vampire numero dos. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, the last thing is that King of Elemental Earth. So we have Flemin, who's throwing out a King of Elemental Earth summon. I'm assuming that Ubar already has all of the Kings of Elemental Earth. They had Earthblood Deep Well Up for a long time. So my assumption is that they already do have the Kings of Elemental Earth. But if they don't, right, then summoning a King of Elemental Earth is a very quick way to get a very strong super combatant chassis, and just get a extra little boost of power, considering we have so many Earth gems as income, right? So if we lose that, it's not that big of a deal, right? Because it's 50 Earth gems, and we make 44 a turn. So, kind of is what it is. No big deal. But we are hopeful that we'll get it. I just don't think that we will. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, moving on. We've got some forging this turn. We have one Lightless Lantern, one Owl Quill, one Firebrand, one Armor of the Knights, 3 Amulets of Anti-Magic, one Blacksteel Helmet, one Blacksteel Kite Shield, and one Thistle Mace. So let's talk about that stuff. Most of this is relatively normal. We've talked about Lightless Lanterns and Owl Quills a lot before. Our research is not especially high. We are trying to round out that curve so that we can try to hit the all level 9s by turn 100 kind of concept. We're quite a ways off from being able to do that. We would need to ramp up. We'd need to ramp up our research speed pretty significantly over the next several turns, the next 10 turns basically, in order to do that. And I don't think we're going to be able to have that focus, unfortunately. So that's not great, but it is what it is. We will continue to aim towards that as best we can. In the meantime, things like the Firebrand, Armor of Knights, that's pretty typical stuff. We're just rounding out gear sets there. Same thing with the Amulets of Anti-Magic. Super useful, especially against someone like Urmor. We want basically as many of those as we can. The Blacksteel Helmet and the Blacksteel Kite Shield are kind of newer things. We made a Blacksteel Helmet last turn. We are probably going to throw this Kite Shield onto Kintoshi, and also throw a Firebrand on Kintoshi. That's a very expensive set of gear for a not Dione. Right? But we kind of have the stuff, so you want to open it for you? Oh, it is for me. Never mind. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just used to opening things for you. Alright, so we've got that going on. Blacksteel Kite Shield. Let's actually look at that. We've looked at the helmets before. So the Kite Shields are actually pretty decent. They have very high protection, a very small defense malice, and decent parry. So the parry, I say decent. The parry is pretty okay. It's, I guess it's kind of like mid-grade, right? 9+ is high. I think like 6 and below is low, right? And then there's like the 6, 7, 8-ish. I guess 5 and below is low. 6, 7, 8-ish is that kind of like mid scenario where it's okay. Kite Shield is towards the high end of that, so it's pretty nice. This gets added to defense value, so if you have a high defense value, this can factor into adding a lot of protection. Our Onishigo do not have a crazy high defense value, but this is a pretty decent spread. It's basically if an attack rolls between a 17 and a 25, right? My math is correct here. Then that would normally hit Kintoshi, but that parry value of 8 is basically an extra defense scenario, and that it will still hit Kintoshi, but it will hit with a plus 29 protection, right, from the Kite Shield. And that's honestly pretty fucking solid, right? Like, you don't see a lot of people use things like the black... Oh, I say a lot of people. I feel like you don't see a lot of things like the Black Steel Kite Shield because you see more specialized gear like the Charcoal Shield, right? Or like the Vine Shield is a fan favorite. Or like the, for me, fucking Scutado Volturnus. Like, I absolutely adore Scutado Volturnus. Because it gives you shock resistance and it gives you an offensive automatic spell, right? It's great. But it's got 8 less protection than the Black Steel Kite Shield does. The Black Steel Kite Shield is actually really pretty good at defending a target. So, and the other thing is it's 5 Earth Gems. We talked about this with the Black Steel stuff. It's 5 Earth Gems, really cheap for us to produce with the Earth Hammer. We have 3... or we do that for 3 Earth Gems, and we have so many Earth Gems coming in that I think it's worthwhile for us to experiment with that type of gear rather than the type of gear we would normally go with. So, we're going to try that out and see how it goes. And then the Thistle Mace is just, we need a couple more boosters, simple, easy stuff. So, aside from that, we are sending 46 Water Gems to Relay. We're doing a little bit of trade. We're gonna have some Fire Gems, I think, incoming from them. We are gearing up to try to put up End of Culture next turn, I think. So End of Culture is 60 gems as a base, and I'd like a little bit of a boosted drop. So with our income this turn, that puts us at 90, and with 46 coming in, we could have 136. Probably I would round that down to something like 135 or 130 or something like that. So we can have a bit like a 70 gem overcast or something like that for that, which is not crazy good, but it's not also nothing, right? So you're not just going to dispel it with a super base cast, basically. So potentially going to do that next turn. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I think that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.